shit? Night and what it was, day and night, day
Yeah,
and night.
that was one of the.
You remixed that shit. I
That's
didn't
how.
know that shit.
That's how y'all know Kid Cudi. You wouldn't have never known Kid Cudi if I didn't remix the record in New York City. I made that the biggest
Oh,
record
all
in New
right.
York City. It wasn't Kid Cudi. Nobody knew who Kid Cudi was.
You saw a hit record and jumped on it, man. Like, you didn't make me, man. You didn't make me. So, like, you got to stop telling these tales, man.
What's up, everybody? This is the world famous Ed Lover, and you are watching Forgotten Kings TV. That's right, Forgotten Kings TV. Come on, son.
Oh, man. So, starting my day, and, you know, I see something online that I have to address, right? So, Jim Jones, first off, we love Jim Jones, right? Like, I grew up on Jimmy. Like, he's the homie. I met him when I was coming up. He was cool, right? Jimmy, I'm going to address you directly, man. You talking about how you are responsible for my success is a lie. You need to stop lying to people. You get on your little podcast and you start gossiping and talking shit, and everybody on your podcast don't know the truth. So they all agreeing with you. But if you look under the comments under that post, you'll see people are letting you know what time it is. You know, this is part one. I got more to say. Day and Night was already a hit record before you touched it, my nigga. I put it on my MySpace, it blew up. Okay? I had an entire mixtape. I was on my way. Motown was courting me. Kanye wanted to sign me. All because of Day and Night, because I put it on my MySpace and it blew up, my nigga. It blew up. I can promise you that Sylvia Rhone did not listen to your remix and say she wanted to sign me. That is not why I have a record deal, bro. Nothing you're talking about is the truth. How do you think I had a music video? I was shooting a music video I was already on. You saw a hit record and jumped on it, man. Like, you didn't make me, man. You didn't make me. So, like, you got to stop telling these tales, my nigga. Like, you got to stop. I want to shout out everybody that's been in the comments letting this nigga know what the truth is, you know. But it's crazy how people just be trying to, like, take credit for my success. You know what I mean? Like, it's wild, you know? Like, and I like Jimmy, man. It kind of breaks my heart to hear him on here trying to take credit for something that he's not a part of. You know what I mean? You jumped on my shit. I didn't ask you to do that, you know? And granted, they played it on Hot 97 every day, and it was a thing on Hot 97 on the radio. But I was an international artist from jump. Like, I had the world. Like, I don't understand. I really don't understand. But I'm going to address this now. You know what I'm saying? Like, no more tales, you ain't had nothing to do with this. So, yeah, man, just wanted to address that. You know, I just know that, like, trying to erase history. You know what I mean? Trying to rewrite history, you know? And I'm alive and well, and I'm around to address it. This Jimmy talking about how he's responsible for my success, this comes up every couple years. He's always talking about it, and I've been ignoring it, and now finally I'm going to say something, you know, because you're not about to be out here trying to, like, take credit for something that you had nothing to do with, you know? So, yeah. Just wanted to address that, y'all. Peace and love.
Moments ago, Jim Jones hopped on IG Live to respond to Kid Cudi and finally address the whole day and night situation. So listen to this. According to Jim, he posted up earlier, breaking down his side of the timeline in a long AI-style rant aimed at Cudi's recent video. And in that post, Jim basically said, if you ain't from New York, you wouldn't get it. Just to be clear, I rock with Cudi too, but when that song first dropped, nobody had heard of you. It wasn't on the radio, it wasn't on BET, it wasn't on MTV, it wasn't even circulating on mixtapes. You weren't one of those new hot dudes in the New York scene yet. He doubled down, saying the only reason he even freestyled on the record, which he calls a New York classic now, is that Cudi didn't even have a deal at the time. He even said his intern shot Cudi's video, and the only reason Jim let him shoot his freestyle video was that the intern showed him the Cudi footage, and Jim asked for the beat. Jim kept insisting it wasn't a feature and claimed the original song didn't get any Hot 97 play until after the freestyle went viral. He said this was pre-IG era, and in '08 he was on fire, to the point he didn't even release the audio. People ripped it from YouTube, and Hot 97 started spinning it as if it was a new Jim Jones single. Then the song charted in countdown slots, and by default, Cudi caught heat industry-wise and ended up signing with DJ A-Track and dropping the official version solo. Jim said he remembers it clearly and even said they could call Cudi's ex-manager, who was also the intern/video guy, for proof. But he finished it saying he's not allowing misinformation, told folks to keep him on the Explore page, and told people to slap themselves for believing a whole essay. And yeah, that was Jim Jones firing back at Cudi earlier today. And as you heard, Jim firmly believes his freestyle helped put eyes on Cudi after the fact. Now, if you remember Cudi's come-up, his buzz was built heavy through MySpace, and girl, that platform was the spot at the time for new artists and social media energy. It sounds goofy now because MySpace disappeared and got replaced by Facebook, IG, TikTok, and everything else, but at the time, that was Cudi's pipeline. And in fairness to Jim, you can't erase the fact he was fresh off ballin'. He was scorching hot around that era. And yeah, having someone that buzzing hop on a record will help, no argument there. But to imply he's the sole reason the world discovered Kid Cudi, now you're reaching so far your shoulder popped out, and that's why he told folks to slap themselves. So yeah, I'll slap myself too for reading that whole giant essay knowing he was trolling. And shout out to Cudi for at least addressing it publicly. But let's keep it a stack. Real fans know Jim Jones is not how we found out about Kid Cudi, so let's not rewrite history. We got to come up with new talking points, because the Nas debate didn't pan out for Jim, and now he wants credit for Cudi. Listen, the fact Jim hopped on the record should tell you the song was already cooking. Exactly, it was a remix, you feel me? And this is where it gets funny, because Jim knows how to stir the pot for virality. In his head, this is how you keep your name buzzing in the algorithm, stay in rotation, stay lit. But it comes at the cost of people not taking you seriously anymore. Because let's be real, the younger generation sees Jim as one of the OGs in the game, and they're not wrong. But at the same time, nobody's about to let you rewrite the timeline. That's like somebody spinning your story left, Jim. You'd be furious. Anyway, talk to me. How do y'all feel about Jim acting like he's the reason Kid Cudi got traction after that Day and Night remix? Did you immediately catch the troll energy from that clip? Or do you think he's making a fair point since it was only a year after balling and Jim was still scorching hot in the streets? Like I said, I get the argument about timing. That part checks out. But once you see that long, dramatic post and all the trolling, it becomes obvious this is Jim's favorite way to hop into the algorithm and spark conversation, and here we are talking about it. But for real, drop your thoughts about this whole Jim Jones versus Kid Cudi moment down in the comments, because with that said, that's all I got for y'all today. My name is Sensei Rip. Till next time, peace. And Jimmy, stop the nonsense, bro. Stop it. You and Fat Joe need to launch a podcast at this point. Capo, good night. All right.